I should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning to everybody on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Instagram this morning as well. Do keep in mind, if you are watching on Instagram, feel free to come over to the YouTube channel. UTC IAD AFCB is the handle name, and then you will be able to comment as well. But it wouldn't be Cherry AM if I didn't have the main man next to me. And we have kind of moved positions, haven't we, as well? No, it's that way. There we are. Hello, Ollie Hudson. You all right, mate?
Yeah, good morning, Craig. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. And
Good.
sorry about the delay. It wasn't because of Ollie, it was because of me. So yeah, I take full responsibility for that. Not getting my ass out of bed in time and just messaging, work on the phone. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
We're all good. Yeah, I think everyone was here a little bit before us this morning, which was good.
They were, yeah.
The chat was lively while I was sat here waiting for you, so it's all good.
Well, Matt was out walking Fletch, not Steve Fletcher, mind. But he said, "Morning, Craig and Ollie. TalkSport's latest celebrities." Yes, we love the guys over at TalkSport, and we thank them for everything that they've done for us to date. And
hopefully continuing moving forward.
100%.
I think that this morning's show may not be as informative as usual, but I thought it'd be good to give everyone an update. So we'll get to that shortly. Yeah.
I have seen a topic that we can get into in the chat, but the football related topic, but we'll come to that in a moment. Malcolm Chiverton said, "Good morning to the famous Craig and Ollie." There we are. I tell you what, shall I sign something for you now, Malcolm? It's worth all of 50p. Probably not even worth that, to be honest. Somebody would just throw it in the bin and think, "What the bloody hell's that squiggle?" Paul from Oz has said, "Morning, Matt, Malcolm, Craig, and Ollie. 5 p.m. in the land of Oz." Yes. And do you know what? I would absolutely love to come to Australia. As you might have seen, my Singapore trip, I went over to Singapore, obviously, and also the UAE. And yeah, a very, very nice guy called Aaron took me around Gardens by the Bay, and we was going to go up to Marina Bay Sands, but unfortunately you needed a ticket done in advance, and I think it was all like weeks in advance. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Malcolm said hi to Paul. Hope Paul was good down under. Matt's followed up, "Morning, Paul and Malcolm." Malcolm said, "Morning, Matt. Good morning. About to do the school run again."
Morning, Nick.
Matt said, "Let's get this show on the road." Yes, it's me delaying it. Sorry, Matt. Punctuality. It's not. Well, I'm always quite punctual, but it's not Not sometimes. Hi Nick, not long now till the summer holidays. Nick, drive carefully, says Malcolm. And Paul has said hello to everyone. Hi everyone, won't be a moment. We will get this show on the road. That's
Me
from us.
preempting your lateness this morning, Craig.
Yes, kind of covering up there, Ollie. Cheers, mate. Hello, Paul, said Matt. We're just going through this. Oh, that's the Twitch one. Morning, Paul. Waiting for a VAR decision. There we are. There's one topic that we can discuss. VAR. I love VAR. Love discussing VAR. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? VAR.
Not the most pleasing of topics for a Tuesday morning, but
We'll run with it. We'll run with it, and I'm sure that we'll do a show. Malcolm, I know that we were talking about it, and maybe we need to organise it so we can jump on together and moan and moan and moan about VAR. Although saying that, you'll probably be bored by about half an hour's. Matt's put Malcolm's laughing. Cool. There we are. Nice of you to join us, Craig. Yep. Morning, Craig and Ollie.
Questions here as well, which is good.
Excellent, good stuff. Morning. Any incomings, please, as we seem to have many outgoings. Actually, Jamie Keynes as well did ask about incomings, so we will touch on that as well. Joe. Hello, Joe. Morning, all. He said. Matt said morning to everybody. Please. 50p. Generous that is. I'll give you 15p for it. Well, I'll tell you what. If I sell 10 of them, I can do 10 signatures quite quickly. If I sell 10 of them, I've made £1.50. I can buy Duo Mars bar. Probably not nowadays. He's up the price. You heard any rumblings about new kit and kit sponsors? That will be quite an interesting topic. We'll come on to that as well. Punctual. If there is a point at the end of it, yeah, always punctual in the pub, man.
Very true.
Yeah, cool, awesome. We're through all the chat, but keep them coming, keep them flowing, because we like to see them. But firstly, a bit of a channel update, and what we want to do is just £1.50 doesn't even get you a Freddo these days. I remember when they were 10p. I dare to even hazard a guess how much they are now. Probably about 50p, aren't they?
I don't know. Yes, but you are correct. So a channel update. So after last night's, we obviously went away as a team, didn't we, to plan the 25-26 season, which for everyone viewing and everyone watching this morning, there's a hell of a lot of exciting content to come.
Yes.
Some new show ideas, some new hosts being myself moving forward. So there's going to be some really exciting stuff to keep your eye out for. One of the big things to watch out for is as it's already been mentioned this morning with Craig and my slots on Talk Sport. We're going to try and get a few more of them going, just so that everyone can hear it a bit more and be a bit more involved in that. But also to keep your eye out for things like Monday night reaction shows, which are going to be ran by myself. And also, we're going to have more involvement in the AFCB ladies team as well. So there's going to be more coverage for that, more information around those and the youth club and the academy. So that's going to be going all the way through next season. So you'll be jam-packed with stuff that you'll be able to watch, as well as Cherry AM's continuing, because we like the community and the chat that we're building at the moment. So 100%. Just really wanted to make sure that everyone knew this was all going to be continuing at full pace through the next season, which is awesome, really, isn't it, Craig?
Oh, most definitely. And Cherry AM has been a real good, it's just been a great community that's building up, and it's growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So please do, if you're on Facebook, share the videos with your friends, share them with family, get as many people involved as possible. If you do want to get involved in the channel as well, and do want to appear on the channel, there is an email address that is going to appear on the screen in just a second. Feel free to email us on that email address, because we would love to get you involved. But what we are going to do as well is Cherry AM is staying, cherry picking, of course, staying. The previews will be changing quite a bit, and I'll keep that all quiet at the moment. But I think that the current format has probably overran its day. Where I'm getting on somebody from another channel for a whole half an hour, 45 minutes. We are going to, do it a little bit differently, and we're going to do it more Bournemouth as well, because I'm sure that a lot of opposition fans would like to find out a little bit more about what we're saying about them, rather than us speaking to another guest. But we will still be welcoming people on, for shorter segments. But we have got, of course, the Raw reaction shows. They are going to be given different names, but you are going to be running those, Ollie, aren't you? And bringing those back. So yeah, looking forward to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fast reaction after the weekend show. So we're going to have call-ins. It's going to be on a Monday night predominantly,
Mhm.
hosted by myself with Bournemouth fans, with opposition fans. So obviously bear in mind the first match of the Premier League is Bournemouth versus Liverpool, um,
Yep.
which is going to be a huge game for both sides going out, especially with the additions and losses that both teams have got. It's going to be a really explosive Monday night show. So please be ready to call in. Please be ready to give your opinions. Please be ready to get involved in the community chat. It's hopefully going to go off every Monday night moving throughout the new season.
Definitely. And we'll also have, of course, our interviews with special guests and celebrities, because I know that a lot of people love those. I really enjoy doing them, speaking to the likes of Richie Neville, Tom Meehan, you name it, Gaz Whelan, Damon Minchella, all these people, Rich Archer from Hardfi. A lot of them have agreed to come back on. A lot of new faces have agreed to come on at some point. So we will be doing just that as well. And Dan Short has said it will be the Kirkes Derby as well. So yeah, looking forward already to next season, and we are going to be getting more and more and more content on this channel. But that's our channel update. Keep your eyes peeled. The best way
Yeah.
to do it is to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all the best AFC Bournemouth news and views from the TalkSport channel of choice. So there we go. Make sure you do it now if you haven't already. But I'll tell you what, let's touch on some of the comments as well. VAR. Do you know what? I haven't seen much about it during the summer. And I wonder if VAR is going to be shaken up next season. They need to do something about it, don't they?
So yeah, yes and no. I think
Mm.
had they obviously there was a big petition, right? And I think was it Wolves the only team that voted against VAR last season?
Yeah, it was. I think it was actually really, really early on in the season, because Wolves. I worked it out when I spoke to a Sky Sports journalist called Johnny, with regards to this. You know, I did ask about it, and he was like, he doesn't blame the technology, but I worked out that they lost about 6, 7 points. And that previous season, which would have put them in quite a nice position. Okay, yeah, the wheels fell off for them and Gary O'Neill the following year, but
Well, yeah,
um,
and I mean, if you were to take into actual correct VAR or non-VAR results last season,
mm,
Bournemouth would have been sixth, Arsenal would have been first. You know, there's a lot of changes that would have happened had VAR been correct every single time last season. But
exactly.
I don't understand how it's never going to happen, but I just don't see it being correct every time. There's too many opinions looking at one screen, and then there's too many variables for the one screen that happens. So the pause and the impact of certain tackles or certain challenges isn't the same pause screen as when you see it happening in motion, right? So you
Yeah.
get a lot of referees, or a lot of fourth referees or fourth officials end up pausing it at the point of impact and then just ignoring everything that happens up until that point. So there has to be some clear criteria, some clear qualifying criteria on how a ref or how a fourth official can assess VAR. So otherwise, it's just going to be dependent on opinion, and I don't think that's acceptable for the Premier League.
The technology is there, and this is the biggest danger, is if the technology is there, you have to get it right every single time. People and fans expect you to get it right every single time. There's none of this, where a referee might make a mistake or might make an error. They
Yeah.
expect everything to get spot on.
I think
Believe it or not,
that's perfect in the comments. I think
yeah.
that it's a big topic, right? And I know that Malcolm's obviously got a lot to say about it, as we know, and so yourself. So that could be an idea for you guys to get together and really hash this out
100%,
over. Yeah,
100%. It is quite a good mention, with regards to VAR. We will do that show, Malcolm.
yeah,
But
yeah,
just to give you a little bit of context, the Premier League have come out and said that there was 18 errors with regards to VAR. Last season. And I'm just having a quick look. I believe this is from the Premier League. Sorry, it's the key match incidents panel that was set up. There's teams that won because of VAR decisions given for them and then given against them. And believe it or not, this is weird. Manchester United had the most VAR decisions given against them last season. But we had two decisions that was given against us, against Manchester United. So there is a real inconsistency, in this. So yeah, very, very, very interesting article that's come out. It's on Manchester World. So yeah, we'll park that for the moment and we'll discuss and we can bang on about VAR until um, the cows come home. Malcolm said, "Oh my! Only if you reduce the price of your signed photos. Or what do I reduce it down to, Malcolm? Though 5 pence. We need to print up a little load of little cards and just sign little photos of ourselves in Bournemouth shirts. There we are, job done. Bad decisions can work for us as well. It's the time it takes sometimes. Yeah, true. How can they not? How they cannot see a keeper holding the ball in the back of the net is beyond me. When I saw it here quite clearly on the other side of the world in Oz, old news, I know, but strange. Yeah, it's VAR is a big, big hot topic. Malcolm, we'll sort this out.
yeah. The
One,
other thing I wanted to touch on was
hmm,
Joe's comment about kits and kit sponsors.
yes, very good. Yeah,
So
interesting.
I personally haven't heard anything apart from the joke kit that you sent over to me
Oh yeah,
on
Thornton's
Facebook.
would be a great sponsor.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you want to post this somewhere for the community to see what we're talking about after the
Yeah,
episode. But the I think I don't agree with you. I don't know if Thornton's would be a good sponsor, and the shirt itself I think is too dark. I just don't agree with the kit. So. And that
yeah,
you should have
agree.
known my response. I was like, no way, is that you can't
Yeah,
be serious.
no,
So
no.
I think that there's clearly not much news about it because there's a hell of a lot going on behind the closed doors. And I
100%.
think we'd be silly to look local in AFC Bournemouth for the sponsorship. I don't think that's the route that they'd be going for. I think they'll be looking to get a larger sponsorship deal as quick as possible.
Yeah,
Which may then create further issues of due diligence, as we had with VGA 88, who ended up having a few bad bits of press around them, right? So
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't rush into something that isn't clear cut. But Joe, I'll have to come back on with some information either tomorrow or Friday's show for you on kit and kit sponsors.
The thing is, BJ88 still have this other another year to run on the deal, but I think considering everything that's come out, I think that the football club will not extend that
No,
deal.
no, no,
I
no.
can't
There's
see
no
them.
way.
I can see if you go onto the official website, and you click on the BJ88 logo, it just loops. It just
Yeah,
loops back onto the website. So it indicates to me that there is probably a change coming that's
yeah.
probably been forced by but by the Premier League. I know that there was a lot of fans and a lot of disharmony with regards to BJ88. I get that. I didn't get a sponsored shirt last season. All three of mine were unsponsored. I don't like gambling sponsors. I don't like, the company that we were sponsored by. However, I can see, and I don't blame Jim Favola for actually signing that deal. We did speak about it on cherry picking actually, and it was quite in depth. And Joe's even. Do you know what? I didn't even check if it was on there. But Joe's just said it's not even on the website anymore.
Yeah, so
Oh, it
they,
is right at the
they
very
must be
bottom.
slowly cutting ties entirely, I think.
It is right at the very bottom. But if you click on it, it actually loops. Whereas also, if you click on 8x Bet, that also loops. Asset Alliance, Bournemouth University, Comav, Dun& Bradstreet, ESET, Las Vegas, they all go to websites. BJ88, and 8x Bet, which I'm guessing is probably a similar sort of company, if not the same company, just loops over. So
Matt, completely agree with your comment there. Absolutely agree. Umbro deal last season, I think. We'd love Adidas next if you don't stay with Umbro.
yeah, but
Completely
look
agree.
at how costly it's going to be. Those kits, Adidas kits,
Yeah,
they are
but
nice.
I do, but when we were discussing, I think it might have been yesterday morning, the amount of revenue that we could be possibly turning over and where we would push that revenue if we weren't going to spend it on Premier League players, right? And
Yeah.
it's things like making sure we have huge sponsors and paying for shirts and things like that, right? So that could be a big brand sponsorship deal, I think.
Mm. Actually, that's a very good point. Gambling company sponsoring the
Yeah,
World
that's true.
Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yes, Malcolm. Hopefully, they will have an offer. And good
That's
to see you,
correct.
Cosino.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that the BJ88 sponsorship was a 2-year deal. It was, yeah, it was. But I think because of the disharmony from some segments of the fan base and also what has come out since, even though I do not blame Jim Favola one bit, I think he's done the right thing at the time because, hey, if somebody offers you, 5 million, but somebody offers you 10 million, you're going to go with the bigger deal. Anybody in their right mind is going to go with the bigger deal, and they're not going to go for someone who is local.
The thing is I don't. Was it necessarily a bad decision if there's 5 other Premier League clubs that have been with the same sponsor? So there's 5 other clubs that are going
Exactly.
to be losing out in a similar way. And if we've made what we wanted to make, or we've got what we wanted to get out of the deal from the first year, and it's not going to be that hard to get out of the deal clause for the second year because they've broken their side of the contract.
Mm,
That's logically how I think it would work. Now, I don't think we've gained or not gained in any way whatsoever. I don't think it's necessarily a negative that this has happened. It's just, I imagine, a pain in the backside for the staff. I have to go back out and find another deal immediately. So, in regards to it being a negative on the club, I think it's more just a frowned upon situation, right? It's not going to have
yeah.
any backlash. There's not going to be any negative impact as such.
Oh, completely. Yeah, completely agree. And
Yeah,
I'm sure that they'll get it all sorted. So, yeah, crossed. It will all be good.
yeah,
Um, but very
excellent.
briefly as well, we'll touch on incomings. Haven't heard anything about any of them, to be honest, at the moment. It seems
No,
to be a lot of outgoings being mentioned. And one player actually I did want to mention as well, Daniel Jebison, of course, gone to Preston North End on loan for next season. I think that's a good move.
I think that's a good move. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think he'll get game time. I think he'll get goals. I think he'll solidify himself in that Preston team. To be honest, I think it's a
Mhm.
good league for him to be in. Really good league.
Well, I'm sure he's pleased that he won't be going to Watford, and hopefully he'll score a couple against Watford next season. Albeit
Yeah.
Tom Cleverley, is no longer at Watford. I think he's at Plymouth now, isn't he? Cleverley.
I believe it could be. Yeah. In other news, I think Plymouth are looking for an American buyout and takeover through. Oh, who did I read the other day? Someone famous actor is planning to buy Plymouth. Oh, Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's working with an American consortium to
Bale.
buy Plymouth Argyle.
Yeah, and there
Yeah.
we are. Matt's just confirmed that. Oh, Malcolm does have some transfer news. It's a new tea lady that's been rumoured. I love that. I love that.
I will do on Friday's show with Malcolm, which I'll be hosting. We will do some sponsorship information and we'll run through some incomings as well. So just to give everyone an end of week update.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. To be honest, there is always going to be days like this where there's not much really going on. And there's not much information to really give out, but hopefully you enjoyed about the channel update. You enjoyed my little rant about VAR. Keep your eyes peeled. There is a video coming with Malcolm very, very shortly. It's not recorded yet, but yeah, if you wanted to also get involved in that or wanted some discussion topics, or even, I tell you what, mention the moments with VAR. I know the one that I keep banging on about is the one against Burnley. Those years ago, where we equalised, and then it was pulled all the way back for a penalty for Burnley. So from going from equalising 1-1, we've gone 2-0 down. Make of that what you will. But yeah, if you do have any thoughts about VAR, drop them into that email, and then
Yeah,
me and Malcolm will discuss your moments. And of course, kit sponsorships and incomings, we will be covering, no doubt, a lot more. But thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Ollie. No doubt
no,
it's going to be a good day, albeit it's a bit of a grey day out there in Bournemouth. Hopefully, it'll brighten up.
yeah, and no worries at all. Yeah, happy to be here again and see you all bright and early tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, guys, and have a good day.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.